All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. I am Naty Rocke. Welcome, rock stars. And today we are going to be covering the Gabby Petito case kind of update and this weird Dr. Oz, Casey Anthony's family's self-insert into the whole situation. Um, it is a weird time. It's a weird time. I don't even understand. Um, so we're gonna be covering that. We're gonna be covering, I think we got a couple more updates, but we're gonna be starting off with this weird self-insert. Um, couple housekeeping things. If you're on the replay crew, um, welcome. You we're gonna do our best to keep this short, sweet, and kind of together so that you guys have a enjoyable time as the replay. Oop, okay, we got a lot of things going on at the same time. Um, so yes. Um, if you haven't already and you're on the replay crew, because I know my two people who are on here right now are my awesome subscribers, Crystal and Dragonman, who are here for every single stream. If you want to join us live, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification. I stream Monday to Thursday at 6:30 unless I have a doctor's appointment, then it kind of gets pushed. So in those occasions, you're going to want to join our Discord. So yes, it's all linked down below for you, and I hope you join us there. All right, let's get into the stream. Let me take a few comments, and then we're going to watch this video. And I'm going to be live reacting with you guys. Thank you guys. Everybody's like complimenting me on my appearance. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to show up a little bit more for you guys. I want to look good for the streams. I love it. Thank you for the goth vibes. Yes, I felt like I had a word for it. I was going to make a joke and I don't remember what it was. Um yeah, I don't know. I wanted to serve this like kind of goth look for you guys today. I miss this. I just got this lipstick and I'm very happy about it. Um and so this is probably a look you'll see more from me. I do love the very like indie crossing into like goth kind of aesthetic. That's very me. I also really love like really grunge. But I mean, I feel like my setup's kind of goth esque. And so we're gonna keep going with that. I need to fix this, but we're gonna get there eventually. I'll probably honestly at some point it would be really cool to like make this an even more goth setup or something. Um, just some like housekeeping stuff. I've been thinking about either making this like seasonal was my original thought, but I feel like it would be really nice to have like some really like dope like goth candles with like wax dripping down them or something like that, maybe like a candelabra or something. I don't know. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on that. um I also took some new thumbnail photos today, so hopefully you guys don't have to see the same photo of me over and over again. Trying to vary it up. So yes, that's kind of the housekeeping stuff. I appreciate you guys, and let's get right into this weird situation. I don't know. I like immediately saw the news reports that was like, oh, uh, Casey Anthony's parents comment on it and whatever. And I'm like, what is happening? And like, then I start kind of scrolling through the whole situation online, like scrolling through the news video that came up on YouTube. Um, and I realized it was a Dr. Oz video, and I'm like, wait, what is happening? Why is Dr. Oz self-inserting? Why is like Casey Anthony's family kind of self-inserting? I don't understand what's happening. Crystal says, I like the new backdrop. Thank you. I feel like this is the first stream. I haven't tried filming on this backdrop. I think this looks so much better than the last backdrop. Like a billion light years better. I don't know if y'all feel the same way. Um I'm so conflicted now because none of this is my like typical branding. Like all of my stuff's like pink and blue, but then I have all gray and black. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Somebody send help. Let me know what you guys think I should be doing. Anyways, I got water this time so that I can stay hydrated and talk to you guys. So let's talk about this weird thing happening. So they apparently went on Dr. Oz um to speak about the whole situation with Casey Anthony, the now incredibly infamous, incredibly polarizing case. Actually, I don't even want to call it polarizing because I think majority of the people who followed the Casey Anthony case, I feel like everybody knew about the Casey Anthony case, whether or not you were like really meaning to follow it. Like it was everywhere. And I personally feel like 99% of the people have the same opinion, um, that the outcome was not the proper one. Not stating my opinion on this, but everybody's kind of on that. I think people are very upset about that case. So it's so ah anyways, I lost it because I just saw Crystal's comment. Um I appreciate that, Crystal. She said, "Your beautiful skin tone works so well with the gray. The other one washed you out more." Yes, it really did. I always was like, I kept thinking that it was the lighting, but like you're right, it really is. It really is the background. Like I'm really shook right now that I actually look way closer to my normal real skin tone. Like this is pretty accurate comparatively. So yeah, we're sticking with the gray. All right. So, um let's see. So I pulled up the entire Dr. Oz episode. Stop it. Get out of here, Crystal. Thank you. Thank you. But so I pulled up the entire Dr. Oz episode from his website. I don't exactly know at what point or another they actually speak about this because I was waiting to react live with you guys. Actually, I don't know if it would be better for me to um I feel like it might be better for me to find the words the news video that I had seen previously. This is not what I meant to put. So one second, I'm gonna pull that video up for you guys just so we can look at that and then maybe it'll kind of give us some more information. Or maybe they'll just tell us the whole thing in general. It might be really interesting to watch um the entire video interview that Dr. Oz did later on if we decide to talk about Casey Anthony's case, if we feel like that's um a good case that you guys want to hear me talk about. Um I'm mildly bombarded at the moment. Like I have the entirety of November fully planned out. I can't unsee what Crystal said now about my skin tone looking like way better. Um I think also like the color, like the lipstick color helps balance it out too. So, right. Um I got the video pulled up. We're going to see if maybe it shows the entire clip with the broadcast. So, here we go. Also, I don't know if anybody would be interested in writing down timestamps for me during the stream so that we can help our
so
replay crew friends later on. But let me know if somebody wouldn't mind so that way I can put them in the description and help people out later.
The goat and not.
Okay. Nobody. The one thing that's been going on that's really driving me crazy is my Wi-Fi is really slow. I don't know what's going on. All right. So here we go. Oh my god. I just saw like a video that was being advertised underneath the video that I was just starting to play. And it was also a video about, of course, Gabby Petito and her case.
Dr. Oz will sit down with George and Cindy Anthony, the parents of Casey Anthony, about their
Why
reaction to
is
what the
this
families of
necessary?
Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie might be.
And it's so upsetting. It was like a 60 Minutes Australia video, and it was like, could Gabby have been saved? And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I really hate when people say shit like that. Ugh, it's so angering on so many levels. All right. Hopefully. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Come on. I just would like to restart this video sometime
Going
this
through,
century.
and Dr. Oz is joining us live this morning with a
Nope,
preview of that. First of all, good to
apparently
see you. How are you?
Just like full disclaimer at this point, actually, before we even get started. Dr. Oz is another person, not quite as much as I don't like Dr. Phil, but it's kind of on the same level of I don't like or trust Dr. Oz and what he has to say like at all. He So I'm just giving that disclaimer since we're about to watch some stuff from him and I don't know how scummy he's gonna be, and I might just be like, blah. Okay. Disclaimer out of the way. Let's watch this.
Week on Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz will sit down with George and Cindy Anthony, the parents of Casey Anthony, about their reaction to what the families of Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie might be going through. And Dr. Oz is joining us live this morning with a preview of that. First of all, good to see you. How are you?
Doing very well. This case is fascinating America. And to remind everybody, it's 10 years since the verdict that stunned the nation.
That's
And
wild.
so George and
It's been 10
Cindy
years.
Anthony flew up in New York, sat on my stage, and we went through in detail what they feel really happened with their daughter. But the eerie similarities to what's happened in the Petito Laundrie case are there, as you allude to. One issue is what happened to the Laundrie body, which is it gets destroyed by the elements, so it's hard to figure out what happened to him and how he died. That's not dissimilar from what happened to little Kaylee Anthony. Remember, the 2-year-old was found months later. No one's really sure how she died.
Yeah, Dr. Oz, and I think one of the other things, a lot of people get upset when they feel like too much attention is being paid to one missing person case, in the case of Gabby Petito. But I think it wasn't so much that as it was the mystery surrounding the family, right? The parents changing when, Brian disappeared. And sort of, everybody gets caught up in, well, where does the truth lie in all of this? And it's very similar to the Anthony case, because as you remember, Casey was telling all these bizarre stories about Zanny the nanny, and nobody knew what to believe.
Sorry, I meant to like. Can you guys hear it if I play it like this?
And even George and Cindy Anthony,
Sorry,
the parents, on my show, broke into an argument about what they think happened to their granddaughter, which I was stunned by. I would think by now they would have figured out amongst themselves what went down. And you highlight one big issue, which is the lack of a clear understanding of what the Laundrie family was doing when they realized their son may have been a murderer, similar to what happened with the
What's
Anthony
up, John?
family,
Welcome.
when they realized that Casey may have killed their granddaughter. But there's more to this story, really, which is what happened to law enforcement. In the case of the Laundrie family, he comes back to Florida.
Excellent.
Petito's missing, presumed dead pretty quickly because no one's calling back the Petito family when they're asking what happened to their daughter. And law enforcement's not surrounding Laundrie or insisting on taking a statement, and then he disappears. And so we begin to wonder, where's everybody? Why are half the murders in America not solved?
Yeah, it's just so horrific for the families to get no closure and feel like they didn't get any justice. Getting back to George and Cindy Anthony, how are they handling this 10 years later? I think Casey, from what we know, is still living, I think, in South Florida, and every now and then these stories will pop up about what she's doing. Do they keep in touch with her? What's the status?
Well, Sydney Anthony admitted that she does keep in touch with Casey. George, how?
Okay, girl, I don't. This is not what we're here for. Ugh, ugh, just ugh. Sorry, just the amount of ugh. Um, I don't know. I think seeing anything that is to do with like Casey Anthony and that whole case, um, is like high key icky at this point. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It just like not people talking about it and like bringing it back up and stuff like that, or like making like being aware about it, but just like this whole scenario feels icky, and I don't like it. Um, but let's see where they. Hopefully, we can find out where they talk about. Um, okay, so there's no notations to the parts, so that's really annoying. Um, there's like 5 billion parts. Let's see if I can find the part just by the image. All right, we're gonna like speed through it and see if we can find out. There's gonna be an advertisement. I just freaking know it. Yep. We're gonna pop out of that really quick because we're not gonna give free advertising. Oh, oh, the ad placement. So interesting to me. All right. I love everybody's just talking about the Casey Anthony case in here now. Crystal said Casey is such a crazy case. I watched it with my grandma. She was a true crimer way before YouTube. I remember those days, dude. I was like probably like in the 5th grade when the Casey Anthony whole situation happened. Um, no, I must have been older than that actually because it was yeah, no, it must have been at the beginning of the case. I remember being like like 5th grade, 6th grade age. But I feel like I was in like the 5th grade um when that whole case was going down, but that doesn't add up because I'm 24 now and this is 10 years ago. So it would have been 14. I guess that's probably how long it took, right? Um but yeah, I remember that. I remember seeing the newsreels over and over and over again about the whole case, and like it was wild, absolutely wild case. And I grew up in Florida, and so like the case I'm sure was even more overwhelming because I was living in Florida. All right, let's see what Dr. Oz has to say.
When she was found not guilty of killing her 2-year-old daughter, Kaylee. But for Kaylee's grandparents, her mysterious death and the shockwaves that sound through the family are something they're still dealing with every day.
Oh yeah, I got 2 times speed. New revelations about a murder trial. Let's see if we can scoot on through so I don't have to put you guys through all of this. I didn't realize, I thought there was only 4 parts, not 9 or 10. So, gonna be a little more difficult to scoot on through. Man. Yo, this is never gonna load, so we're gonna listen to it on my phone. Could not download the video. Okay, cool. So we're gonna make do. We're just gonna make do and we're gonna watch it on my phone. It's okay. Yo, I have so many Doja Cat songs stuck in my head. Like, that's all I listen to at work for whatever reason. All right. Nope. All right. Give me a second. Let me try and sort this out. I'm sorry, guys. I was not expecting that to happen. But here we are. It's okay. We keep it moving. We keep it moving. I don't care about your advertisements. All right. Here we go.
Shopping.
God, her father looks like identical to how he did back in the day.
It's a house that somebody said was going to raise back karma.
Actually, raise up our kids growing up.
Just tapped her little fingers on my, and actually got out of bed and followed her down to the living room. Scared. I'm thinking, okay, she's ready to take me away now because I had done something some years prior that made.
John, did you ask for Crystal's consent? Did you ask for her consent first? We got a new person in the chat. Let me know how you'd like me to address you by. Okay. That is a absolute turn. I've never ever seen anybody online have this sentiment. I'm honestly shook right now. I mean, like, not judging your opinion, not stating my opinion. I just haven't seen people root for Casey. Actually, I feel like that's a CGI'd version of Casey's face for some reason as that person's profile. So, welcome. All right. Honestly shook.
Because I was ready to give up. She would make it sometimes, but I know she would go.
With her being gone. And her.
She only was in it 2 times. She really didn't know how to pedal it yet. And, well, why not? Blues law is ensuring that parents must report if their children are missing.
Within 24 hours.
Within 24 hours. Or
okay, so it's not in that one. I completely agree, Crystal. The John really does bring a fully different vibe every single stream. I don't know. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm I've been dealing with trolls for a very long time. Especially on Twitch. But maybe that's their real opinion. Who knows? I appreciate it, Crystal. Oh, here we go. I found the Brian Laundrie part. I found it. All right.
On Dr. Rocke.
Okay. Go. Blah, 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 blah. No. Stop it. It was right in the second part. Right as the second part began. We love that. Love to see it. So glad I didn't have to look through 10 parts. All right. Let's see if I can get this to work. I did not mean to mute that there. Okay, there we go. All right, 1 second. Yep, that is true. Casey was in fact found not guilty. But I think as Dr. Oz does say, that decision rocked the nation. I'm not gonna debate whether or not the decision was fair or should have been or not. But it is really surprising to me when people um say that they like openly say that they were rooting for Casey, because if we look back, pretty much the entire nation was kind of resolutely saying, and I'm not saying that I agreed with anybody or didn't agreed or disagreed with the sentiment. I'm gonna stay neutral. This is the one I'm gonna stay neutral on. Um, you know, pretty much resolutely people were saying that Casey was guilty. Everybody was saying it. Everybody was saying, based on what was coming out from the trial and even before the trial, people were saying that she was guilty. Like, that's the pretty much overall sentiment of everybody. So it's really fascinating to me. Like I said, I've literally never seen people online openly say, no, yeah, we were like Casey 100% love her, she's awesome, she's innocent, blah blah blah, blah. Like, I've literally never, not a single time. All right, so I was trying to pull it up for you guys on my computer to make it a little more official, but I think Dr. Oz's website doesn't like my computer, so we're gonna just watch it on my phone as if we're all just like hanging out in real time as we do. So
In an our show exclusive. So, can I ask you about another Florida house with lots of media hounding the parents of Brian Laundrie? I don't know if you probably don't know them personally, but you probably understand what they're going through a little bit. Oh, the parents, most definitely, because you feel like you're just feel like you're. I don't want to say the word prison. That's a bad thing to say. You just feel like you're jailed in your own home. You really can't go out. If you do make a brief appearance outside, people are going to be right there on top of you. And it's hard sometimes to have composure. But what do you? Then again, if someone asks you a question, you want to maybe talk to them. But then again, I really feel for him, because and then when that first happened, sitting down, we're talking, he's like, oh my gosh, what's their family going to go through? His family, her family. And then when that young lady was found, Gabby Petito, it just brought back a lot of memories for me. The remains of Brian Laundrie have been found. Cindy and George, based on your experiences, what emotions do you think the families of Petito and Laundrie are feeling right now? That emptiness, or that emotion comes over you. You feel like your heart has been taken out of you, put on the ground, and stomped on. I hope both sets of parents can find some relief in knowing that, I don't want to say there's an end to this, because there'll never be an end, but they just know that they've got to go forward on how a daughter and a son are no longer here. Cindy, what do you think the parents are feeling right now?
I remember when we got the confirmation that Kaylee's remains were Kaylee's. I remember feeling like I was just kicked and punched so hard in the heart and the gut. When you find out this is what happens, the air gets sucked out. You can't talk. I feel for them.
hi Mom, thanks for joining.
Both sets of parents. So I'm sure Gabby's family's probably relieved too. Said they didn't want to live through a trial.
I didn't think about that.
Either set of parents want to live through a trial. Think about it. If he would have been alive and he would have been on trial for her death, they would have had to live that every day. They won't have to see their son, go through all the questions and have to go through answering for what happened to Gabby. And I hope that they can find closure.
Did you ever worry that Casey would take her own life?
I think that's such an interesting it's a really interesting perspective on everything, because I feel like that was something that towards the end of one of my last streams, like towards the end of me covering this, or not the end of it, but more recently in my covering of Gabby Petito's case, and especially after the entire we found out what happened to Brian, which was that he was found dead at the preserve. Um I know that somebody, I want to say it was Crystal, um who was on my stream, kind of made the comment of, well, going through a trial isn't easy. Some people would want to avoid that. And it was kind of the conspiracy that, you know, maybe somebody knew this was going to happen, or maybe it was kind of planned as a way to be free, as a way to not have to withstand trial, as a way to not have to go and deal with these things. Um, you're free. And it's interesting because it's, in a way, what that person was saying on my live is kind of being echoed by the, like, Casey Anthony's parents. I'm sure trial is not easy, especially under trial is never easy. Trial is never a fun thing that people just want to, like, have a fun romp and go to trial. It is like ridiculous amounts of money, stress, hardship, like it's a lot. Like, going to trial is not an easy feat. But I'm sure under these circumstances that's even worse. Um so it's interesting to kind of hear this perspective. I you know, I don't know if this is something that the any of the parents involved in the Petito case have, like, thought about, but it's just definitely an interesting thing to contemplate on. It's this whole interview thing still feels very, very weird to me. But let's keep going.
I mean, I personally never did. She was always a very strong-willed individual. I don't. She would just let things go the way they were going. She would just be like me sometimes. Let things bounce off a little bit. Cindy?
I think maybe if she was found guilty, I don't think she could live with the fact of I don't think she could live with the fact of people really believing that she killed Kaylee, because everybody that knew Casey and Kaylee and saw them together saw the bond that they had.
I know this isn't, like, I'm not here to, like, talk about the Anthony case so much as I am talking about the Anthony's talking about Brian and Gabby. But, like, the to me, I think that in this moment, in my opinion, I think that I think that Casey's mom here is really self-inserting. I think that she's talking about how she would feel if she was in that position, not necessarily what Casey was feeling in that position, because yeah, she was found not guilty at trial, but majority of America, in my opinion, from what I've seen, from what was happening, all of the coverage when that trial happened, and even to today, majority of America truly believe, regardless of the verdict, that she killed her child, that she was a terrible parent. I'm not saying that that's my opinion. I'm not saying my opinion at all on this case, but I feel like she's well aware, she's well aware that majority of America do not believe that the verdict was just, or that it was the right one. So I feel like what she's saying is really biased, because if that was the case, you know, she probably wouldn't be around anymore, because again, I think pretty much everybody who's seen anything about the Casey Anthony case, knows anything, lived through that point in history, like, and was old enough to understand what was going on is very well aware that that's not the sentiment that majority of the people have about this case. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but have you guys seen majority of people, you know, saying, Casey's guilty, doesn't matter what the verdict is, she's guilty, she's guilty, she's guilty? That's what I've always seen. I mean, I remember seeing the coverage of everybody outside protesting and being like, she's guilty, like, like I don't know. Am I like misremembering? Am I just going crazy? But I feel like that this doesn't add up to me, what she's saying right now. I think that this is truly a self-insert moment.
All of her friends, everybody that knew them, saw the bond. And I don't know if she, I never thought about it during the trial. And afterwards I didn't, because she was found not guilty. But I think if she was found guilty, that thought might have crossed my mind.
Maybe being acquitted saved her life.
Possibly.
While Brian was missing, the Laundrie family's attorney denied his parents knew where the son was and said they were worried for his safety. So could you explain why the parents of a possible murderer might still fight for their kids?
Well, with us, I mean, I'm the one that turned Casey in. I'm the one, my whole focus was Kayla.
So just some comments about what I was asking earlier. I was saying, she had to hide and leave town because of what the public thought of her. I'm sorry, I can't handle it. I can't handle this woman. Yeah, I think that she's self-inserting. I think she's truly thinking about it from the lens of how she would feel, which is perfectly valid. I can understand, thinking about it how you would feel. And I think that she's at this point confusing how she would feel and kind of projecting her own feeling of how she thinks is the right thought onto her daughter. Because again, as my mom said, she had to leave town because of what the public thought of her. And as Chris was saying, America hated Casey, and they still do. We got a new person on the chat. Welcome. Hi, I have no clue who you are, but you're on my follow list, so hi, how are you? And this is deeper than I expected. Hi, welcome. I don't know if you've changed your name. It kind of seems familiar. Yeah, you've been following me for a very long time, apparently, so welcome back. We're talking about the Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito missing persons that turned into a murder case. We're talking about that, and then we're talking about Casey Anthony's parents reacting to this and talking about their feelings and kind of putting it in the lens of the case that they went through. So welcome. Thanks for joining. I hope you enjoy. I guess you would be an OG. You have been following for a very long time. So welcome back. Appreciate you coming back. We talk a lot about true crime on here now. We're also you probably followed me back in the day when I was doing more like sit down, just regular, just chatting, which we're gonna continue to do. But Mondays are our missing persons days, so I hope you keep hanging out with us. All right, so yeah, we're in the middle of this. This is a hot mess, in my opinion. John pointed out, I didn't know this, but it sounds accurate. I don't know, I've never seen this, but it sounds accurate. Sounds like it would have happened. Says that a local bar had a sign barred Casey Anthony, all others welcome. Yeah, that sounds pretty on point to how it was. My mom says, I want to review the court transcripts because my understanding is that her father's testimony was damaging to Casey. That's a really interesting point. In the news, so like we started off with like a news video of Dr. Oz kind of promoting this episode. And he says that um Casey's mom still talks to her, but Casey's dad doesn't. Um which I think that the stuff that Casey said, the allegations that she made against her father were incredibly damaging to him. So I would imagine that his stuff was probably pretty damaging back. Um, so, you know, actually, this is a bed sheet. I just put it up as my background because I needed a backdrop, and I made do with what I had in my house. I knew it. It is propped up perfectly straight. It's just the way that it is, you know, it's gonna wrinkle. That is hilarious. Um okay, I want to make the sentiment though that so my mom says, yeah, here they are crying about their daughter and their daughter's relationship with their granddaughter. Um I will give um George the like kind of the buffer, or I don't even know how to say this, but I will give George kind of his moment. You know, the only one crying about the relationship here of the, you know, of Casey and Kaylee is her mom. That's the only one. Her dad is not shedding a tear or saying these sentiments at all so far. It's only the mom. Um, I have thoughts. It's a little difficult. Um, so yeah. My mom's also saying Casey chose the bars and partying over her daughter. I think that's pretty much spot on to 99% of America, and their statements um, on how they feel about Casey and the whole situation. Mom says, "I stand corrected." Yeah, I mean, if we go back a little bit, it's
She
truly
was found not guilty, but I think if she was found guilty, that thought might have crossed my mind.
she's the one kind of on
Being acquitted
this
saved her life.
whole thing.
Possibly.
You know, while Brian was missing, the
Um,
Laundrie family's attorney denied his parents knew where the son was. He said they were worried for his safety.
from what I remember, it really wasn't, you know, her dad saying having these sentiments. Yes, I can see that. I did I thinking back to the Casey Anthony case, did anybody does anybody remember anybody being like a character witness for Casey and like her being a good mom? Or if there was, I don't feel like it was incredibly credible. I don't know. Does anybody remember that? I feel like maybe there was, but I feel like it was like a weird iffy one. Um, yeah, no. I questions about the bed sheet scenario. Again, it's behind me. Like it's not over me. It's just behind me, standing up straight. And these are fake lights. So don't worry. Nothing's getting burned down today. Uh um as to answer your question, yes, I'm streaming both on Twitch and on YouTube. Um feel free to follow me on YouTube as well. I got StreamYard, which is like really beneficial because I like being able to stream to both platforms at the same time. So John was saying there was a woman therapist, was a defense witness, and she was very credible. Okay, I would have to find all of the stuff from back in the day. Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about that. I forgot about that. Wait a minute. That's like ringing a bell. Hold on. I'm gonna look this up. Oh my god, I freaking forgot about that. Yeah, I'm literally yep, that is incorrect. That is correct. That is correct. Um, George Anthony, Casey Anthony's father did leave a suicide note. I did not remember that until you brought it up, and then it was like budding, like, oh my god. Yeah. Um, that was dude, that entire case is such a freaking tangled web of insanity. Absolute insanity. All right, and then I could literally talk. I feel like trying to disentangle the web that is the Anthony case, like the Kaylee and Casey Anthony case, would take like hours and hours and hours of like sitting down with you guys and talking about it, like plus all the hours like behind the scenes sitting down and working it out. And of course, after 10 years of the case being closed, it's um it's a lot to try to remember as well, because it's like when you're in it, right? Wild, absolutely wild. All right, let's keep going. Let's see if they have anything else to say about the Brian Laundrie case.
Safety. So could you explain why the parents of a possible murderer might still fight for their kids?
Well, with us, I mean, I'm the one that turned Casey in. I'm the one, my whole focus was Kaylee.
Yeah.
The whole time was finding Kaylee and what happened to her. I've been accused of lying for Casey on the witness stand. I never lied. I wanted the truth through the whole trial. And that was my whole prayer the whole time, that the truth would come out. I supported her, but I raised my hand and put my other hand on the Bible. And I said, I will tell the truth, and I did. I never lied for her. So I wouldn't go that far to lie, to protect. And I was also dealing with, truth for Kaylee. I wanted truth for her.
That's tough for parents.
It's very tough. So that's the difference between us and the Laundries, is because, we had the victim as well as the accused.
Of course. I will give her that. She did, in fact, turn Casey in. That doesn't necessarily add to her credibility, per se. But I think she does make a fair point in this regard. Let me see if there's anything else on this part. I think that was the whole second part clip. Let's see if they talk about this a little bit more. I'm not sure. Gotta love an ad. Okay, that was the end of that clip. Ad again. And yet again, another ad. Of course. John said, these cases, they're usually the same old thing. I mean, at the root of it, it's a murder. So I guess in that regard, it is the same old thing. It's another murder and another murder. But I think the context is different. I think there's a lot of different between Casey's case. I think that took, how many twists and turns did that case have? How many twists and turns did Gabby Petito's case have? These were not straightforward cases in the slightest. So I don't agree with that necessarily, that they're all the same old thing. All right.
Exclusive, George and Cindy Anthony are with us today talking about the devastating death of their granddaughter, Kaylee.
Okay, we heard it
So,
before.
August 9th marked the 16th birthday of Kelly's birth. If she'd been with us, she would have been.
Is that it? Is that all they're going to talk about Brian Laundrie?
So, we were still a little worried about COVID and such. We feel more comfortable now because we've had our 6-month booster. So, and that day it was extra hard for me.
I think that's all they're going to talk about, I guess. Danette says, Casey Anthony's mother took back what she said about the body being in the car, or the smell at least. Later on, she said that it was garbage. So I don't know if there's any, if she's any better than, I'm guessing she meant the Laundries. I think everybody's kind of like, we gonna pile on Cindy Anthony now, which is fair. It's fair, I guess. I think there's still, even on the 10-year anniversary, people are still very fired up about this case. I mean, understandably, I think majority of America, I mean, the pretty much the entirety of America, and I'm sure people across the world were probably watching, but across the entirety of America, that was all you heard on the news, all over the place. Everybody was talking about it. And so, and when that verdict came back, I think majority of the people did not agree with it, and I think nobody feels like justice was served, or majority of people don't feel like the justice was served properly. And I think that the majority of the people feel like there is no closure because of that. And so I think that's why people still get really fired up about this case. Dragonman said the appeal of the Gabby case was the hunt for Brian. Yeah, I think that definitely was a huge contributing factor to it. So I think that, sorry, I'm not laughing about that. I'm laughing about another comment. I think that it is gonna be a lot more difficult to get any kind of interest on this case, now that Brian has been found and he was not found alive. Like, if there's no case to be had, I think a lot of people are gonna lose interest at this point. Crystal said Cindy did lie on the stand. She said she's the one who Googled whatever chemical she was using, chloro something. I think it was chloroform. But the prosecutor proved that Cindy was at work. I'm not gonna comment. I'm not gonna comment. Not getting myself in that mess. Absolutely not. Home says the victim is only Kaylee. I could give 3 shits about Casey. That's perfectly fair. I think pretty much majority of America would echo those sentiments. Yeah, I think people are still fired up, and I think that a lot of people really do not like Casey. I don't know about you guys, but I find it absolutely fascinating that every once in a while, Casey will end up back in the news because people are like, look at what she's doing now. And people eat that shit up. People eat that shit up. And can I just say, I hate it. Like, part of me hates it because it's like, why? People eat it. Okay, so this is my problem with it. People eat that shit up because they hate her, right? People eat that shit up purely out of absolute hate and spite. Understandable. If you feel like there's not justice has been served, I can understand why you'd be fired up about that, especially when it involves a very, very young, innocent child. People are gonna be very defensive for that innocent little baby. That's just human nature, of course. And so it's really weird to me that people like eat that shit up, because I'm like, why are we giving her attention? Like, we're giving her attention for her life and stuff. If any kind of like attention-y things happen, I think it should be the case being talked about, not about like, look at what she's doing now. She's working for blah, 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 blah. This is what she's doing with her life. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, for what? For why? It's like in a weird way, she's almost turned into like a reality star. Like, why? If people genuinely don't like her, genuinely feel that she committed a horrible crime against her own daughter, why are you giving her that attention? I don't know. Is that weird? Like, does anybody else feel that way? Are you guys getting what I'm putting down? It's weird. I think that people just immediately go for the sensation of it, and I can understand being drawn and wanting to know and like that sort of thing. I think people are also really, it's like when these things happen, they want to hear that something bad happened to her, I think also, and I think that's why that they're doing it, but people don't realize in the moment that they're just giving her attention that she wants, in my opinion. Because, why would you go on TV talking about what you're doing if you don't want attention? Danette said she lied for her daughter. Crystal said, Gabby case, they had social media. She was likable / pretty, and the Laundrie family and Brian not talking or helping with finding her. Yeah, I think that the Gabby case, and this is something I've said before, I think that the Gabby case truly took storm because it had the perfect components, just the perfect components for people to like eat that shit up. So I think it's a little difficult now though, even though it had that perfect components of, she was the pretty kind of all-American girl next door. She lived in Florida, like grew up in New York, like very like a certain thing. She was doing social media. There was this whole mystery. They were doing van life, which is incredibly popular in the US. Those are all things that I think contributed. But I think I do agree with, I believe it was Dragon Man earlier, saying that part of the appeal was the hunt for Brian. And I think people were incredibly consumed by the hunt for Brian. Mom, stop. People were incredibly, absolutely enthralled by the hunt for Brian. And I think that is going to be, unfortunately, a devastating blow to like lose that hunt and lose the aspect of there's not going to be a trial with Brian standing trial, like that whole thing. That is going to detract from people, to be incredibly blunt, giving a shit about the case. Am I saying it's right? No, I think people should still care. But I think that people, look at news stations like WFLA. They had pretty much 24-hour coverage of that damn preserve. They had constant live streams going all day long of the preserve, of people asking questions, of the news anchors answering directly. It was a huge thing. Yeah, Mom, we got a troll in the chat. It's fine. We're gonna let them do their thing. I find trolls hilarious because at the end of the day, thank you, troll, because all you're doing is adding to the conversation, adding to the views. At the end of the day, just benefiting us, because the more that trolls comment back and forth, the more that trolls talk about it, ironically enough, the content gets pushed to more people to watch. So I don't even worry about it. Let them have their fun. Let them be a little awkward, sad and alone in their houses, doing the shit. Because all they're going to end up doing is actually boosting the message that we're trying to spread about all of the cases. Because the more people watch my videos and respond to us like assholes, the more that the content gets pushed overall on my channel, and we can continue to spread more missing persons cases like the Gabby case that unfortunately is now a murder case, like Mia, like Summer Wells that we're going to be covering, like the little baby West boys who were 4 and 5 years old when they were taken. That's all that's gonna do. I love it. Crystal said, trolls are more than welcome to hit the thumbs up or down, all the same. It's true. It doesn't matter if you hit the thumbs up or down, it's still engagement. The content still gets pushed. Thank you. Take a cookie on your way out. Yeah, I agree. We will be covering the Summer Wells case next week. I just put up the reminder today or yesterday. So that's already set. But I haven't researched enough to honestly give any kind of I like barely know about the case. I just know that you guys are really interested in me talking about it. So I'm gonna be doing my research. I'm hoping that Crystal helped me out with the research as well, so that I can be informed and talk about it. But I honestly have absolutely no opinion. I don't know anything about it. I just know that she was lost. I know some of the stuff that's come out, you know, like that her father has just gotten a DUI, that kind of stuff, but I don't have an informed opinion at this point. Crystal says Wells family equals circus. Yeah, dude. That from what I've seen, the very top of it, I think that's probably the big thing that joins all of these cases together, is the fact that these are all kind of circus cases, with a billion things happening. Anyways, I'm gonna go back and pull some comments that I didn't get a chance to speak about. My mom said, anytime an innocent soul is hurt / killed, especially a baby, there's not enough justice. You know, Danette was agreeing. I agree too. You know, I think I agree. And I think especially when it's a little, I think the innocence, right? The innocence of a child, to take that away is so, I mean, anybody getting hurt is horrible and shouldn't happen. But especially when it's an innocent child, I think it impacts us so much more because they didn't know anything, you know. Not Casey, but Kaylee Anthony was basically a baby. Like, she didn't know anything about this world. So to end up like this is devastating. I mean, like they said in the video, she would have been 16 now. That is an entire lifetime difference, basically. Like, that is insane. And that is so many years that she didn't get to enjoy, and so many things that she will never have learned, and that's devastating. Crystal said, Casey, I know the attention is bad, but the idea of her living a life without a care, being free, really free, is a horrible idea. Yeah, I think that's what people really get hooked on, is the fact that she is a free woman, and a lot of people believe that she shouldn't be, which I can see where people are coming from. You know, and to see her just being like, la di da, I'm just gonna show up on the news every once in a while and just be like, haha, look at my life I'm living. You know, that shit gets under people's skin. But that's what she wants. Like, you wouldn't be doing that if you didn't want that. You know what I mean? It's not like, you know, reporters when they dug and they found videos of her somewhere or other. No, like she fully goes and does these interviews every once in a while. Of her own free volition, will, whatever the hell. John was saying the appeal for him in this case was Gabby. I think some people did definitely feel that was the appeal, was Gabby herself. But I think a lot of, I think people that was part of the appeal for them, but it wasn't the entire appeal. I think people were really hooked on, you know, the hunt. Again, it's like, look at the ridiculous amount of money, the views, the viewership time, the ridiculous amount of comments that, you know, the big one that I always think of is WFLA. Look at, I'm sure they made ridiculous amounts of money. They were across like 25 platforms live streaming all day long. You know, it was just a zoo. following up with the troll comments earlier, and Crystal saying that you can take a cookie on your way out. I love it. It's like everybody's like, I was like, troll away. Chocolate chip cookie to go, please. Dead, absolutely dead. I'm gonna guess that John was asking about the Summer Wells case. We'll be covering that next Monday, so don't even worry about it. You'll be very informed. So this is kind of a thread on the Wells part. Danette said, at Crystal, the family is so weird. The mom even had a missing sister at some point. From what I understand, the sister is still missing, like crazy amounts of years later. Nobody knows what happened. That's something I will be talking about on the video. That is like, yeah, definitely bizarre. 2 for 2. Like, what is happening here? Crystal's trying to distract John. That's hilarious. Mom said, Wells' family case is sad too. From what I've seen, it is very sad. Crystal said, Danette, the family history, the neighborhood, and the lifestyles, all just so much drama, drugs, and so much toxic behavior. And Danette said, also, Crystal, what gets me is that Don and his wife talk about Summer like she is already gone. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that was at one point. I think you're right. But yeah, so I think that's all of the stuff that we're covering today. Like I said, Summer Wells, we will be covering Monday. After that, we're going to be covering the West boys, Oren and Orson. They were 2 little boys that were taken out in California. And then after that, we're going to be talking about Maya Millett, who is still missing, but now her husband is actually being charged with her murder, even though she's still missing. So that's a huge web to untangle. And then we have actually the case that Danette brought forward, who she's got a personal connection with, that we're going to be covering really soon. I started chatting with everybody. I don't know if Danette, I haven't checked my email as of like 3. But I don't know if you got a chance to send me the stuff, but I will be checking my email later. My mom is going for the trolls. It's hilarious. Yeah. No, she's been, I don't know. I don't think it's been quite 16 years. I don't remember how old she was exactly when she died. I'm guessing it was probably around like 4 years old. She would have been 16 now. It's been 10 years since the verdict happened. Yeah, that's a mess. That whole case is a mess. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap things up. We can have the conspiracy theorists in the chat all day long. It's totally good. I will see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna keep talking about Kylan and Crystal, not our friend Crystal in chat, but Kylan and Crystal, the married couple who were unfortunately murdered in Moab around the time that the whole Gabby Petito case was blowing up. We just covered the timelines. If you want to go back, you can. We just covered that yesterday. So tomorrow we're going to have a follow-up watching the interview that the person who found Kylan did, the exclusive interview. So I will see you guys for that tomorrow. I'm going to double check what time, but usually it's 6:30, but I think that I have a doctor's appointment, so I will let you guys know in the Discord. And with all that being said, thank you guys so much. Good night to everybody. As Crystal said, smash those likes. I double dog dare you. I appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with me. I will see you guys tomorrow. Love you all, and make sure you stay safe, stay well, and I will see you guys very soon.